same experience in a tournament setting compared to obviously Titanic names, not just in France, but in all of EMEA. But I think with Volta on your team, it's hard not to have the right game plan when it comes to Volta. I think he's one of the best strategizers in our region. So I definitely don't brush off Solary at all coming to this. And for the case of Aegis, Shaunz hit Masters very early to the set, so his ladder grind has been going great in this set, had great motivation, I think, with this battle for Paris and what is at stake here from the Pride perspective. And Potable, one of the historic names in EMEA, someone that you can never count out. He has, I think, dips and highs and lows in his form, depending on how much he's enjoying the set and how locked in he is. But when he is passionate about a set and when he likes the set a lot, he is so, so good.
And not only that, he's been doing that for a really long time as well, right? He's basically one of the competitive players in TFT that have been there from the very start, from the existence of the, baby steps that TFT eSport took. Potable was there, and he was good at it. That is definitely a force to be reckoned with, but of course, double up is always a little bit different. Double up is always something you'll need to play with here, and so I'm curious on how they're going to be doing as we enter the game.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit. Double Up, really fun game mode that exists in TFT. They actually put a lot of effort into developing the game mode for longevity. And so you'll notice a couple of changes. If you look a couple of sets ago, there was the Rune of Allegiance, I believe it was called, that you could actually use to send items equipped on champions over to your teammate. And that has now been replaced by your team cannon. So you'll see that team cannon take the spot of your rightmost bench slot, and you can actually send over champions. And you can trade items actually back and forth now. You can trade item components with your teammate. So as you see with your start here with kind of like trying to figure out like 3 pieces you might want to put together, you can actually like call up your teammate and say, hey, can you send me this unit? That'd be really nice.
Yeah. At the same time though, with how wide this meta has been as we get a round of silver augments, I'm really curious on what people are going to be approaching double up with. Often what you found was either teams agreeing to re-roll something like 2 costs, so it's a little bit easier to hit them if you take them out of the pool, or 3 costs. Or we had the variance of 1 re-rolls, 1 goes late. Now, I think this meta might not be the most prone to really making those tactics shine, so I'm curious on how these guys have planned to approach this.
Well, I saw Volta immediately send Leona over to his teammate.
They were probably watching Skara in the Showmatch and they said, you know what? That's actually a master plan. Let's try and take it for our team. I have to imagine that the overall cap of your board will be much higher in double up, because one of the key strategies, correct me if I'm wrong, Necra, as the resident expert in double up, is probably going to be 3-starring 4 costs, because you can send some of those 4 cost copies to your teammates and they're going to have an easier time overall finding all 9 of those copies that they need for that 3-star.
Yeah, the thing about double up though, you cannot send 2-star units anymore. So it's a lot harder to actually hit those 3-star copies, but you are absolutely correct that I've definitely seen times where it's like, okay, we're just gonna like find all the champions and send them over. But the kicker for this set is you cannot send a champion over to your teammate that they have not unlocked, correct? Ooh. So that's actually a really big deal. So even if you send over the Leona, you yourself have to unlock the Diana in order to send that champion over or receive it. That is a creepy portal. What
I was looking at that portal too. I was like, wow, what?
What is that? Ew.
Grabby hands.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, it's for the people who like unbounce, Necra.
I see. But no, well, Ari is my speed.
Lots and lots of Rage Blades being slammed all across our boards, like the 4th I'm seeing right now. So a very, very popular item. I'm a little bit surprised because I've been seeing a lot of Krakens, but they'll show up as well as we hop across to another matchup here.
Wow, I mean, that was a Void Spat, though. Where in the world did that come from?
Also, one consideration is that items like Rageblade and Titans are going to be that much better in double up, because once you go to reinforce your teammates in his battle and you come to help out, those stacks are saved from your fight. So you're coming in with these fully stacked items that they have a downside, a weakness usually at the start of a fight, but no longer when you reinforce.
Yes, it's a really great point. There is something else that is nice in double up. When you go and reinforce someone else's board, you also get the benefits of like if you kill extra champions, that's more gold for your Draven.
More takedowns.
Oh yeah.
More souls from Shadow Isle.
It all
More
counts.
stacks for your Veigar.
Absolutely. And so that is something that I wonder any of her teams will lean into, is kind of those extra stack traits. Is that something where, like, yeah, you do go down the route of Yordles because you can get more stacks onto your Veigar if you finish the job fast enough.
It's also a much easier time forcing the base for most of your carries because you have a chance to exchange components to kind of have this low roll protection, which is what I mentioned before about the higher cap. It's just everything is angling towards you reaching a stronger version of whatever you're trying to play.
Why are there 4 of them and you're using the portal?
Well, we're getting a chance to look across the lobby here and just take kind of stock of what people have been playing in their early game, and to not much surprise, it's looking very similar. That Qiyana 2 that we've been seeing do so much work earlier, showing up on two boards premiering that Rek'Sai 2, also a really, really good early carry of all of those, you know, melee carry items, really, really nicely done. And then some more out there variances on the bottom right. We're seeing some Jhin being played, some Eagle being played, so maybe thinking about the Shadow Isles.
Whoa.
Very strong opening here for Shaunz. So
Yeah.
we got 2 already in stage 2. No other Void units, unfortunately. And it's really bad news because for Void in particular, there is a ticking time bomb in terms of the Rift Herald unlock, where you have to be playing at least 2 Void for X amount of rounds.
It's 8.
If you come into it late, it's not going to be terrible. You can still play into it, but you do kind of delay that Void, the Rift Herald coming in to stabilize your board in stage 4.
I think you can. I do think that, like, the Void start, I don't hate playing it at 3-1. Like, that would be like kind of like the absolute latest that you can get it online. So, Padebo, send your boy Shaunz a copy of Kog'Maw or literally anything. Rek'Sai, anything.
I'm reminded of Robin yelling that he doesn't have a Kog'Maw earlier in the Listen, in
Could've used the cannon.
You can just get one. Simple as that. You just need your teammates to lock in.
Wait a minute.
Send it over.
So you just gave me an amazing idea.
Okay.
Mastermind
Double
up.
Oh,
yeah, you gotta have 2 teams of 2. But you are the team.
The cannons would not stop firing.
For normal mastermind.
Could you imagine that? That'd actually be kind of cool. I think that'd also be very crazy. So someone cook that up for us and let us entertain.
I'm down. I'm with you, Necra, always. Yeah, this is certainly a board you will need to beat. That Show 2 being found naturally early on is just crazy.
It's expensive though. Shaunz maybe trying to find a way to still make 20 here in stage 2. Probably sell off some of these Xin Zhaos to try and make it there. And just stick to playing Void. He does have the Bel'Veth items to perfection. This is the Biz for Bel'Veth is always going to be the set QSS and Krakens +1. I think Giant Slayer is okay. Second Krakens is also okay. But once you have these item pairs right now, you feel so comfortable and confident playing into Bel'Veth as a carry.
Yeah, you just need the Void.
Yeah.
But I think, like, while the obviously, like, Rift Herald is very important, I have seen other boards kind of stabilize around 4 Slayer instead of just needing the Rift Herald as, like, that big bruiser unit. You can also go 8 unlock set and use it as at least the bruiser trait until you get the Rift Herald. So I think there's a couple of ways that you can actually play around it, that it's not horrible if you don't get the Void in now. But Double is also playing with Void. You do have the Kog'Maw as well as the Rek'Sai in. I think that you could use these items as well, basically on any melee carry.
Don't fall for it, Necro. I'm pretty sure he's trying to play Dan.
No, give me Rage Blade Bel'Veth.
We can hope and dream, but I have a very, very clear expectation from Double. He played a lot of it on ladder.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Jedusor also is a player who was, I think, the player that popularized Diana, and this was a specific build.
So I have him playing.
Yep, you do.
The thing is, Diana got an adjustment, right? I wouldn't call it a nerf. She really got an adjustment. She's not as good with some of those attack speed items anymore. So I'm curious if they would be down to go into contested Diana here in this situation where you have so much possibilities to make something cool happen, like a 3-star forecast of another trade. So I'm not 100% sold, but I unfortunately also see the writing on the wall.
I just want to mention, we just saw Potable
come to Numble's board after losing to him and spam some thumbs up?
I've fortunately or unfortunately played a lot of games against Potable in the ladder race at the start of this set, and he enjoys coming to your board and thumbing it up every time you hit some high roll, some Rek'Sai 2 in stage 2. So he likes to play the mind games with any emotes and any capability he has in TFT.
I think.
Potable in particular. I think Potable is top 5 on my list.
I think that's why that is like where if you know the mental warfare is coming, you are either ironclad or you mute them immediately, right? And then you don't see them give it. Yeah.
The first thumbs up noise I hear, the mute's already done.
See, I'm a thumbs upper, so.
I love it. All right.
A little bit of a support there. Double coming in to save Canbizz, but together they reign supreme, and we're going to be going into our next set of augments here. Let's see what we're getting.
Another silver. How spicy.
Stuff like Pandora's becomes double valuable because essentially now you both have Pandora's. You just need your teammate to really make sure how many have you sent over and how many is he sending back.
I will say, I actually don't know how that works because the cannon is in that final slot. It's like literally the rightmost bench slot.
Oh.
I've never taken the augment.
No, not Pandora's bench, Pandora's items.
I see.
But I am now
The
curious
cannon will
about
not
how
change.
it works.
I'm pretty sure Pandora's bench is probably disabled if I know anything about this TFT.
Yeah, there are a couple of augments that are disabled in double up. I do not have the full list, unfortunately, but yes, I have never clicked it in double up, so maybe it just is not clickable.
I could see that be the case. We definitely have Diana unlocked here for Katare. At least that Leona 2 is now on the board. So that should help if that's your game plan. And at Archangels, you know, I think we might be looking at that one.
You see an early Nara as well for Shaunz, so maybe using it as a stepping stone towards the Velvet. Maybe just playing something like a Warwick Strikers kind of game.
But that's not something we've seen too much of throughout this day already.
I think I find Warwick hard to unlock, but maybe that's just like I have not touched that trait at all.
You've been championeering.
No. I have some tech for you, but I tried to sell this tech to 7 different players in my interviews, and they all just look down and shook
the
their head.
Gately treatment.
I'm going to keep it to myself, and they'll find out.
Listen,
Okay.
now you need to share it with chat.
They will. No, they'll find out when they face Panda at the trials.
Top number 1 in
Yeah,
EMEA,
see?
you'll find out the tech. I'm going to keep it hidden until then.
Excellent.
Because people have not been, they haven't been, enjoying my secret tech. So I'm not going to share with the world. It's done.
Color me surprised.
All right, well, we're going to take a look at another one of our matchups here. Katare actually going to change the items over to Zoe. I think that is a little bit better. I've loved Zoe in this set. It's been very fun to watch her just like spam chill.
Any of the target units, really. I think they're so cool. I think they're so fun to play. So just a little bit, for our casual viewers that are currently figuring out TFT, tuning in here for the first time, really good advice. If you ever find yourself in a position where you have a slot, but you don't know what to put, if you see target units, those go. Anytime, any place, they will make your board so much more stable.
I've definitely been a Tarek enjoyer in my front line when I do not have the one that I want. But I'm wondering, actually, are those Zoe items ASOL items? Do you think we could go an Aurelion Soul route from there?
That would be a very risky line to take. I think after the nerfs, ASOL, even if found early, just takes so long to scale. You need to have truly the perfect setup for him to work. It is a power fantasy that it's meant to be. There's a 1 in 1,000 chance, but when it does work out, it's the coolest thing ever. I'd be surprised for this to be the 1 in 1,000 game.
But you have your partner that can come in and help actually give you a little bit more time.
Yeah, maybe. If that's
Actually, you do scale more, right? You get more Stardust because you have a chance to play 2 fights instead of 1.
See?
So maybe the scaling factor is fast enough to make it relevant.
But if that's the case, then surely somebody would be picking up Yordles. Because that works the same way.
That's true.
If you get Veigar, the more ults the
That's
better.
true. That's true. I'm just thinking about it because unfortunately no one did pick those. So, first round of presents, everybody. Look at this. Lakoko got a Lichbane as an artifact that got sent over from his partner.
GP1.
Oh yeah. But this imagine if it was a Veigar, like Maggie said.
Or to not Bane. I don't know. He has it. That's what matters.
I think you want a Reforger. Immediately.
Checking in with Volta also has that board up online, but gets shredded by the enemy. Rek'Sai is playing around Graves right now. The backline, we're seeing some Druid, so could be that that's our angle here. Maybe we're looking for Draven.
Partner diff.
Partner diff.
Partner diff. Oh no, that can happen.
Certainly not played enough of the B patch because Rek'Sai seems to be a really good carry in the early game and in stage 3. It wasn't the case last patch, and right now seeming very, very strong in most of these fights.
It kind of reminds me of like last set, the Nidalee. Wait, no. Who was the little juggernaut?
Listen,
wait a minute.
As soon as set 16 PvE started, I forgot everything about
Nefiri. I'm sorry, Nefiri. That's the one. Okay. I was like, there's a little juggernaut that, like, you know, if you give the Nefiri items, it's like a very similar thing.
So cute. We have some
Solary win.
Shields up, some Solary win.
Wait, can we just talk really quick about the fact that, like, our intro animated sequence to the Paris Open includes the 4 org emblems, like the little river sprites with the colors, like,
so cute,
cheering on. It's so cute.
It's a cool nod, and I think it's deserving with how much these orgs have done for the French scene. France is not just good because there's very good players here, but in many cases I think those players are developed because of all the input that these French orgs have done in terms of organizing LANs, in terms of having content around these players, in terms of having a lot of tournaments online and offline across the years.
Let me throw you for a little bit of nostalgia, Panda. You remember the double up tournament we did in set 6?
Yes.
So that was the first time Panda and I went to a TFT LAN, and we had a bunch of players from different countries in EMEA there. And we also had, I believe it was Shaunz and, do you remember who it was?
I'm So Fresh, I believe it was.
I think it was I'm So Fresh, yeah. So both of them were there, and I remember asking them, like, why do you think France is as strong as it is? Why do we see so much developed talent, so much passion, so many fans, so many good players out of France? And the answer they gave me was essentially, we started really early doing grassroots tournaments, and we started really early kind of pushing content creators that then pulled up their communities into TFT. So what you're saying makes perfect sense. This is a community that from the very get-go has invested into TFT, and I mean, they're reaping the rewards.
They have been for a while. France has been the dominant country in EMEA for a very long time, deservedly so, I think, with the players that we've seen coming out of France. And we're seeing the battle here coming to not a close just yet, but we're starting now stage 4, so this is where it really starts ramping up. The 4 costs come online. The Diana 2 potentially comes online and becomes very scary for Solary.
Fortunately, Aegis has a little bit of catch-up to play. There was a gift that got sent over, and so Katare can actually start to make a couple of upgrades here, but you are quite weak. You do have the Azir pair, and so that is something that you could start to chase if you wanted to go down the Shurima route. I think you're right. We are not going to see Aurelion Sol in this particular game. But, yeah, I mean, Double, the whole Carmine Core duo here is actually quite strong.
And Double is holding Leona pair on the bench, so I think he's still open the possibility of playing a Diana. At the very least, maybe even just unlocking Diana, so he has a chance to deny a 3-star Diana if that is the game for Katare.
That you did just get partner diffed there.
Absolutely.
And it's tough. Like, if you don't play double up a lot, this is actually something that can surprise you, is you will take more damage if you do get
not just surprise you, but frustrate you. I think one thing in TFT is that you are playing your game, you feel so strong, and then you're like, wait, this is not fair. I was winning the fight.
The one time in TFT, you can blame your teammate. It's not your fault.
Well, if you lose, it might be, but...
Okay, people will make up whatever excuse that they want.
We need to take a look a little bit at Shaunz and Padebol, because they're currently on the lowest. And of course, in double up, that's still the case, right? You get knocked down, and then you preserve on 1 HP.
Yes.
If you get knocked again, you're out. So
correct.
Just, before anybody gets baited from our viewers, of course, just letting you know, eliminations are not final until they are.
Yeah, hopefully they can bring it back.
We saw Shaunz there playing for the Lissandra Nara duo carry, which is one of the more common meta lines we've seen from that mix between Freljord and Ionia that pairs so well, one of the best bronze for Lightforge as well in this set. And looking now at the Shurima angle, Nasus unlocked, maybe slowly moving towards potentially finding that 4 Shurima that could just win the game outright. It would take a lot of very careful planning to make it there.
It might be a little bit tough, and you might not have a whole lot of time to do it. I mean, Lococo already got this big Void board online. You're starting to really hemorrhage HP if you're on the Aegis squad, so 19 left as your shared HP pool. As the final fight is happening here, it's a showdown between Gentlemates and KCorp, and it is going to be the Gentlemates that win. You can see Jedusor smiling about that one. Gets that Volibear unlocked, and it's also a really great unit for you to have in the long run when you want to actually play this Freljord board.
Yeah, so this is interesting to me, right? Of course, Freljord, very early on, you get these extra statues. They help a ton in just putting a body on the field. Very nice little early tech there. We've seen a lot of that in set 16, I feel like. But this specific combination I haven't seen too much of. So we saw Ash reroll, Trin reroll, we've seen Lysandra carry, we've seen the Volibear come out, but the Yunara, she's kind of just hiding in the back corner there, trying to add that quick striker value and trying to at least do the most damage she can. So really this is just, you know, preserving the pain, trying to stop the bleeding a little bit.
Normally we see a move more towards the cannon for defender, then set as well as a way to cap this board even higher for Ionia. If you have the chance to unlock Volibear, there's an angle with Kabuko, Bruiser, and Invoker, for example. So the trade treaters work really well. But the positioning for Shaunz, if he's clumping so much to try and get max Freljord value, he's going to be losing a lot of value in terms of just getting a lot of AoE from something like a Swain in stage 4. So I think he has to change his positioning a little bit. He has a Hull Crusher as well, which is so awkward with Freljord. So a hard game to navigate for Shaunz.
Definitely a little challenging. You can already see it is going to be Aegis getting closer towards elimination. Solary in 3rd place. Then it really seems to be a race between KCorp and the Gentlemates to see who will actually take the win. Interesting to note as well that we ended up getting power up taken from Double. And he got a prismatic when everybody else did get gold augments. Katare and Shaunz taking portable forge, but the big double 61 XP augment there actually does put them in pretty commanding position.
Not just any prismatic, growth mindset, so the chance to go and play for a fast line angle. We're seeing the Annie on the board, the Tibbers as well. The Leona 2, who is itemized, is this time for some Diana fast 9?
There's the Diana.
I mean, there's an Annie too. There's just 2 pairs of Annie, actually.
You can just play Fastline Annie with the typical frontline package with Nico, Vi, Swain, and Seraphine. Play Disruptors with Azir if he finds it, and then just play Diana as a secondary threat that can also synergize really well with Annie. Because Diana marks units, Annie starts burning them, they're slowly taking that burn damage, and then Diana finishes them off.
I love how they've both ported over instantly. That's really funny. But while we were in the carousel, I got a glimpse at Volta's board. And weren't you telling me he said not to cook? He's certainly cooking. There's some weird stuff there. I hope we get to see that board sometime soon. But a wild concoction of things, so to say.
Diana's a very strong meta case in double up. We mentioned it earlier in the early game with the Rage Blade and the Titans, but even more so now. Imagine you're about to win the fight, then a Diana fully stacked comes in and just 1v9s your entire team.
That would be very unfortunate. And still, so for Aegis, we are at 3 HP, so 2 more hits here, and Aegis will be our first duo eliminated from the Battle for Paris. But right now, you can see Volta's board, and it is a spicy one, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we basically play a little bit of Void, and we play a little bit of Legendary Soup, and we mush it all together with a little Darken weapon, hoping to maybe find that Aatrox later. It's a nice concoction of things.
I will go ahead and name myself a top 10 in terms of volume of games Slayer Flex player on the US at the start of this set, and this is a classic Slayer game for me because you found Darken Bow. Darken Bow enables you to unlock Aatrox in a much easier way without having to build both BT and Hodge. It's usually very hard to reach that 40% Omnivamp or play like 6 Slayers on a turn and unlock Tryndamere. Just becomes way too much of a hassle. It's like a side quest. But in this case, he has a very strong transition board, which will eventually cap out with, I have to assume, Mel and Azir playing around the Noxus line with Swain and Ambessa as well. So with Darken Bow in particular, Bel'Veth becomes an absolute monster.
So saving grace, Shaunz just won that round. Doesn't help. They're down to 1 HP. Particle lost, but maybe that speaks to the power. Maybe that speaks to the turning around. So Shaunz and Potable on 1 life. Next elimination will be the end of it. That will be a lost battle for France, unfortunately. But now they can still turn it around.
Maybe. I think it's going to be really hard, though.
We saw Volta move items there. I think he has to hope for a tier from the component and slam the Hodge on the Belvet to unlock Aatrox on the PV turn. So this is one of the hassles with playing Slayer Flex in the current meta in the sets. It is, you have to do so many extra things to just play a normal game of TFT.
40% Omnivamp to be able to unlock Aatrox. You got the tier from the component anvil, and so you actually can make the Hodge now. What do you get? Oh, you get Annie from your extra units. Goes 9 immediately. Decides to actually start to roll down a little bit. Doesn't have like a whole lot of ult to work with, but that is quite nice to get the Fiddle. With the Morello as well, you're going to get a lot of burn application.
It's usually a 2 Slayer, 2 Juggernaut, and 3 Noxus Shell that you just add in any of the 5 you find, like Senna and Fiddle. Fiddle obviously fits with the Embessa. You have to have a 2-star Embessa with an item to unlock Mel, so there's just so many moving pieces to make this comp work, to even reach like the base level of the comp online.
Potable unable to find that Belveth because she's sitting on everyone else's board, so really losing out on that contest there. I think 3 or even 4 ways, certainly a lot of Belveth enjoyers in this lobby. And Shaunz just quickly hopping over, seeing how the state of things is, but it's not good. Potable will be taken down, unfortunately, and Shaunz tear down with him.
All right, everybody, give it up for Aegis. Unfortunately, they do go out in our first place, but what incredible players. Shaunz and Potable, they did an amazing job here, and now it is down to just 3 remaining teams. Solary, Gentlemates, and KCorp. Who will be next to fall?
I'm scared about Solary. Volta, I think, is going to start reaching his cap soon, and we haven't mentioned it yet, but Katare had found 2 artifacts. He had a Flicker Blades on Azir, and he has Wit's End on Diana, which I'm pretty sure is maybe her best when it comes to 1 artifact plus 2 normal items. Having Wit's End as a healing item on her as well.
Well, that will help.
Oh, Canbizz has found a Garen 3. That is one way to win the game.
Garen 3, or has the Garen 3 found him is the question.
I think he was chosen by the Garen. I don't know. We're going to have to get our observers to help us on that one.
I think the play was for Double to play Diana so that everyone in the game would be too focused on positioning and not realize that Canbizz is playing for a 3-star forecast.
Wow, well, honestly, let's see this Garen spin to win. Who does it better? I think it's going to be the Garen and not the Wukong that gets this one. I mean, just absolutely big. It gets a little bit of stun there just because, you know, you do have the Void stun. That
this unit does not die.
No, of course not. I mean, you've got the Spirit Visage as well as just like the Sterix.
And the 3-star upgrade.
Yeah. I guess you could say that.
I think going into tomorrow, we have to start adding an asterisk to the show matches. You are not allowed to win by 3-starring a forecast every time.
You are.
Why not?
We like that.
Yeah, we saw Diana 3, the Garen 3. What's next?
Well, I personally would like a legendary 3.
Yes.
That would be
I'm with you.
Will you accept that?
I will, but I think it's difficult. You have 2 other players trying to deny that from happening or 4 other players on the other
2
team.
players trying to find it, so clearly who's winning on the math?
On forecast, maybe, because you don't have to have every single copy to deny it, but 5-cast will be a lot harder, I would say.
There's still only 9 in the pool, right? So, yeah, that would be quite hard.
Renekton is unlocked as well. We haven't been keeping track. Is there a chance maybe for Shurima? Is that a path to maybe beating a Garen 3?
I don't know. I mean, like, Katare's on a 5-win streak. So wouldn't it actually be quite difficult now? Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Well, I mean, if your partner can help you, but I think it's actually really hard to do that because
I think that Garen will demolish 2 boards if he has to.
Yeah, there's too many moving parts, and yeah, the fact that there's a Garen 3 in play right now, I think it's too difficult for you to mathematically actually get the for Shurima. But it's a nice effort, and it's actually like kind of doing okay, but unfortunately cannot hold on as Katare takes another hit.
It was already unfair fighting against a 3-star Garen, and then the rest of the squad rolls up like just in case.
Yeah. It's like, you need any help? No matter. We're here anyway.
I love that when I play double up. I'm like, I didn't need you. Like, I'm speaking to my partner when we're playing double up. I was like, I didn't actually need you. Go away. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no partner.
Well, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I think for now, they're happy for the partner being here, backing them up wherever they can. Volta and Katare down to, well, a single life and 2 downs to go. Can they maybe force Lakoko and Jedusor down first, or are they going to be our third team in the placement of Battle for France? Katare rolling down, did go to 9. Not much has come of it.
Yeah, it's tough. I think like the Flicker Blade on the Azir is actually quite good, but with missing so much else, I mean, that's a Renekton too, but you're still missing the other pieces in the front line here that I think are really going to help you to stabilize. And I do not like these tank items at the moment. This Bel'Veth is going to chew this Swain apart.
And Canbizz, I think, was just very fortunate to find the Garen 3 as early as he did, because now everyone understands that the real only way to win against the Garen 3 is going to be to find a 3-star forecast of your own. But now it's like a wild, wild west situation where everyone is keeping track of everyone else's forecast game plans and holding a million units. We're seeing like Teryx and Yunaras on the board.
Yeah,
all right, wait, I take it back.
Doesn't bring them to 1 HP, so that would have been really good for Volta and Katare, but it doesn't happen here. They have 2 lives still, and Katare and Volta only have 1. You're right, though. Everybody's kind of angling for them while also looking out for everybody else.
And they're constantly changing maybe their forecast game plans of like, oh, now this team has 2 Wukong, we have to start selling our Wukongs, pivot to something else.
But what about I saw 2 copies of Azir in that shop. So what if actually it's an Azir 3 angle, and that's how you win against the Garen 3?
You would have to gamble to sell your entire board, and maybe your teammate has found an Azir, and you can roll for the last 3 and hope you are lucky on 9. But it's usually very hard with those odds, even on 10.
This might just be it for Solary, as we do have to pay attention to how Volta is going to do against this board from Lakoko. Lakoko could go down to 1, or it could be a knockout, and it will be. It's going to be Solary going down in 3rd place, but please give it up for our wonderful squad over there of Volta and Katare.
Lakoko looked to the side like a little glance. I'm not sure how the seating looks, but if it was Volta on his side, that's an evil glance. He was like, yeah. I just knocked you out, buddy.
That's mean. Double elimination coming through as well. Both of them did go down. And now it's between KCorp and Gentlemates. Can Lakoko and Jedu find something here to maybe find an answer to that Garen 3? I'm not a huge believer in it, but I would love to see it.
And Double has the plan D already in the works. He'll go for any 3 if they find a way to contest the Garen 3. So there's multiple layers of strategy here between these final 4 players. I think probably the deserved and the favorite 2 teams to be in this top 4 between Gentlemates, the rising stars with Lakoko and Jedusor, and KCorp, the golden boys who can do no wrong in TFT for France as a whole. Once again, in a dominant position in this game.
Goes 10. You put in the Kindred. That'll be nice for just some utility, as we've got to check in on how the Gentlemates are really going to deal with it.
He's still forward, trying to make it happen, but is so far away. Can he find it?
Wukong!
Wukong
so
too.
close. Only 6 copies, though. He's got to sell everything else, and it is just not going to be enough. I think that's them throwing in the towel. And it is going to be KCorp that wins with the Garen 3 so early on. Incredible double-up partners, and congratulations to them. What a great battle for Paris, but it is going to be Canbizz and Double 61 that come out on top as the kings of Paris.
I'm not surprised. Double, when he chose his name, he was prepared for this exact moment. The first time he would play double up on stage with his cousin. I love how Necro's like loading. We got it.
That's
was so good. No, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, no, I think everybody here is going to be happy to see these 2 guys win. You just cannot hate on Double and Canbizz. So very nice a little start up here to the tournament day. Of course, they're both still playing. They were in Heat 1, I believe, so they're both through. They're trying to make it as far as they can. Both no strangers to those final lobbies, have been in Vegas, have been in Macau. You can just see them giggling away there.
Well, they're all friends at the end of the day, right? Even though they might have been fighting in our super serious and obviously very important, double up match.
Everything on the line.
Yeah, with so much on the line here for the Battle for Paris. And it's just a show match at the end of the day, and they are such good friends. So let's go ahead and hear from our winners, Double 61 and Canbizz.
And Battle for France is won by KC, Double, and Canbizz, guys. Thank you so much. Congrats to the others, of course, but I'm gonna grab the winners with me right now if you guys can follow me on stage. Come. We're gonna have a chat. Faites du bruit pour Casey, s'il vous plaît, à Paris. Messieurs. On va faire l'interview en anglais, mais je vais traduire en français. We're going to conduct the interview in English, but I'm going to translate to French, of course. On va commencer avec le fait qu'avant le showmatch, il me demandait des conseils sur Double Up. I want to start with the fact that before they came to the stage, they were asking me advice on Double Up. So how did this one go, guys?
I mean, it went well. It was really fun. We hired the guarantee. So yeah, it was really fun.
How hard is it to switch to this mode when you're so used to competitive mode?
J'ai pas entendu.
À quel point c'est difficile de switch sur ce mode parce que t'as pas forcément l'habitude d'y jouer quand t'as l'habitude de jouer pro, compétitif, 1v1.
No, it was not hard. It was just fun to play with Double. And I made the guarantee very early, so I'm happy about it.
It was a swift victory from both of them. Happy to grab the victory here, especially in France. I assume I want to know how the day went for them on the other side of the venue. Comment était la journée pour vous sur le reste de l'événement? You guys qualified for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I finished first of my lobby and Double second. We are confident for tomorrow. We will see if we can make it, but we will do everything for it.
Tout s'est bien passé aujourd'hui, forcément, top 1 et top 2. On a hâte de voir comment ça va se passer demain. Tell me about your day. Comment était la journée pour toi?
The day was nice. I think the most important is tomorrow. Today it was not the hardest part, so yeah, I hope that tomorrow we can make the final lobby.
L'important, c'est demain, évidemment. J'aimerais avoir un mot sur le patch. Tout le monde l'adore, ce set. À l'unanimité, j'ai l'impression il y a eu des petits fixes, évidemment, qui étaient nécessaires. Mais du côté des fans, en tout cas, il est très apprécié. I want to know how you guys are enjoying set 16 this time. I feel like the fans love it, but how is it on pro player side?
Yeah, I think the patch is really great. The set is also great. There is a lot of to do, so you can unlock a lot of champions and you can play a lot of comp on this patch. So yeah, I mean it's just fun to compete in a patch that you can play a lot of stuff.
C'est un set qui est hyper divers, c'est un set qui fait l'unanimité du côté des fans, mais aussi j'ai l'impression du côté des pro players. Qu'est-ce que vous aimez le plus par rapport à ce set, en dehors de la diversité qu'on peut voir par rapport aux autres choses que Riot ont testé cette année sur leur patch? What do you like the most about this set compared to everything we've seen this year?
I think you can play a lot of things. I like to play competitively on this set. Like I have so fun when I played, and I hope the rest of the set will be the same. Riot did a good job for the set, and I hope it's gonna be the same for the rest of the set.
Il espère que le reste du set se passera de la même manière parce qu'il trouve que Riot a fait un bon travail de ce côté-là. Mesdames, messieurs, on est en France, on a beaucoup de joueurs français, on a beaucoup d'attentes du côté des joueurs français pour remporter la ceinture à la fin du week-end. Est-ce qu'il y a de la pression? Est-ce qu'il y a de la hâte? You guys are expected here at this tournament, especially being in France, playing in France. People want to see you lift the belt at the end of the weekend. Do you have any words of encouragement for you too, actually, or how do you think the weekend is going to go?
I mean, it's a hard format. We're gonna do the best for make the final, and we will see tomorrow if we can make it.
On va vraiment essayer de faire la finale ici, forcément, c'est l'objectif, et je me remets de ton côté une dernière fois. Do you have stress, or are you more excited when it comes to playing here in France, in the chance of grabbing the belt?
No, I don't think I have any source of stress. Sorry. I just hope that we can make the final lobby because it's a really great experience. I did it in Vegas and it was really insane to live it. So I hope that I can make the final lobby again. And why not? If we are with Canbizz, I mean, it would be insane.
En famille.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to give you guys the closing thoughts on this interview. So I'm going to hand you the mic if you want to say anything to the fans, to everybody watching on stream. The floor is yours.
En français?
Merci à tout le monde d'être là pour nous soutenir. Ça fait plaisir de voir beaucoup d'entre vous venir nous voir entre les games. et nous soutenir tout simplement. C'est un plaisir de jouer d'ici, depuis la maison, en France, à Paris. On va essayer de tout donner pour gagner demain et dimanche, si possible. Et merci du soutien, merci à tous ceux qui regardent, même sur le stream. Je sais que vous êtes nombreux et ça fait extrêmement plaisir. Merci beaucoup.
Du coup, demain, c'est la journée la plus importante. Si on va en finale, franchement, je pense que ça va être incroyable. J'espère que vous crierez pour nous dans le public et qu'on va vivre de belles choses. Donc, merci beaucoup.
And thank you, guys. Of course, hoping that the fans are going to be here to cheer for them. Eyes on the prize, and the prize is tomorrow in the chance of making it top 8 on Sunday. That's all for us here on the side of this interview. Merci beaucoup, messieurs. Bon courage pour la suite. Thank you so much for being with me. We're done with the stage here, but the evening continues, so please go and check the booth, check on the players, see how everybody is doing. They're gone. Okay, that's great. I'm going to finish on my own here. Go check the rest of the venue. Enjoy this Paris Open. That's all for us here on this side of the stage. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.